Squid Game, also known as Capitalism the show, is on its way to become one of the most viewed series in Netflix's history. And here I am making a video on it almost 3 weeks later. But even though I'm severely late to the party, I still quickly wanted to give my insight and make an analysis on the show. So needless to say, there will be spoilers ahead for Squid Game. In Squid Game, we follow a bunch of people who have accumulated a significant amount of debt, a debt that they are unable to pay off. A mysterious organization then offers 456 participants a chance to resolve their debt by competing in 6 different games over 6 days. Those who win all 6 games will receive the prize money that's in a giant piggy bank above the main room. In an interview with Variety, Squid Game's director Hong Dong-yao claims, "I wanted to write a story that was an allegory or fable about modern capitalist society, something that depicts an extreme competition, somewhat like the extreme competition of life. This is something that you're reminded about throughout the series, as it's repeatedly stated that the torture on the outside is worse than in the games, because when people go into debt or lose their jobs in a society that is unable to help them, especially with medical bills, yeah, people die from that." Another way capitalism is represented is the numbers they go by. What a capitalism essentially does is reduce everyone to a number. Every time a contestant dies, 100 million is added to the total jackpot, so the total will reach 45.6 billion won. And for those of you in the US, that's about $38 million. During episode 6, aka the Cry Your Eyes Out episode, most participants said their name. This was essentially a way of gaining back their humanity in a dehumanizing system. There's a lot of mention of religion in this show, specifically Catholicism. And what Squid Game is essentially implying is that capitalism is the new religion. The piggy bank has a divine presence hanging over the contestants. It's lit to appear golden and holy, and it's the one thing that dictates 93% of the participants' decisions. They are willing to die for it, because just like the games, the real world will kill them as well. The meeting between Oilam and Sunggi-hun was on December 24th, also known as Christmas Eve. The one time of the year people are the most charitable. Hong Dong-yao explained his reasoning for the children's games, saying as a survival game, it is entertainment and human drama. The games portrayed are extremely simple and easy to understand. That allows viewers to focus on the characters, rather than being distracted by trying to interpret the rules. I think the meaning behind the children's games goes far beyond that. In this world, we see this loss of innocence and people navigating through a capitalist system. Before Sung-woo dies, he reflects on him and Sunggi-hun's mothers calling them in for supper, reflecting on the people they used to be before greed took effect and before they were put into this merciless system. Majority of people, even if they're not currently religious, were still raised on certain morals and values that were derived from religion. The games in this show represent that it's difficult and at most times impossible to remain a quote-unquote good person when wanting to become wealthy or successful. You go back on values and sacrifice relationships and neglect important things in your life. Oh my acorns. I feel a Matrix reference coming on. Oh yeah, right here. When Sunggi-hun is playing the game with the salesman in the subway, he's given a choice between red or blue. In the Matrix, Morpheus offers Neo a choice between a red pill or a blue pill. If you take the blue pill, you will remain ignorant and continue living in your prison. If you take the red pill, you will learn the unpleasant truths of reality and see the world for what it really is. Sunggi-hun, who's even wearing a blue hat, chooses blue. In fact, later on when the hosts are showing everyone playing the same game and explaining how they're all in debt, almost everyone else is using the blue square. The song The Blue Danube by Johann Strauss II plays as the characters walk throughout the facility. This song was also used in 2001: A Space Odyssey, a film that shows a bleak outlook on the future of humanity. In 2001's case, Kubrick had this song play over the characters traveling through space, as technology and automation caused the humans to become more pathetic, as they let technology take control of their lives. In Squid Game, the song is used before each game, indicating that these characters are asleep and are enslaved by the capitalist system. Sunggi-hun remains ignorant until a year after he completes the game. Sunggi-hun learns about the truth. that Oilam created the game out of boredom. When you're poor, money is everything. Like how not getting enough money for Sung-gi-hun's mother's treatment is what led to her death. However, having all the money in the world is not the answer to fulfillment, as number one became so desperate to feel something that he participated in the games himself. This is why Sung-gi-hun dyes his hair red, as he chooses the path of enlightenment, deterring anyone from entering the game, and instead of choosing to go back to the US to finally see his daughter, he chooses the path of what appears to be taking down the organization. He wakes up from his sleep, claiming it wasn't a dream. Hwang Jin-ho found out that the Squid Game happens every year, as he went through the records looking for his brother. However, his brother ends up being the frontman, and with number one dead, the frontman is most likely going to be the main villain of this series, as he will now take over the position that number one had. Why the frontman shot and killed his brother is still unknown. However, it appeared that he did want his brother to come back to the island and join him, but must have looked at the situation logically and knew he couldn't keep him alive. With no service in the area, the videos on the detective's phone were most likely never going to get sent. However, he did make a call to the police station, specifically the chief. The connection was breaking up, but he was still able to communicate that he was somewhere southwest of the mainland. Hwang Jin-ho's disappearance would easily launch an investigation, perhaps causing other officers to get involved with trying to look for him, and then inevitably end up trying to expose the games in the next season. Oilam formed the game with his rich clients who felt no joy due to their significant wealth. He claimed that he had so much fun doing things with his friends during his childhood, but lost that in his adult life. We opened the series with Sung-gi-hun narrating the last time he truly felt alive, and that was in his youth playing Squid Game. He described the joy he felt when winning, saying, "At that moment, I felt as if I owned the entire world." Exhilarated. Now Sung-gi-hun has received the wealth, and has the same problem of finding no fulfillment. Also, before the games, he struggled significantly with a gambling problem. He claimed he wasn't a horse, and looked at the participants as people, creating separation between the VIPs and himself. However, the frontman was a former participant, so it's still possible that Sung-gi-hun might end up like him in the future, as there are a lot of parallels with Uilam and Sung-gi-hun. With the country's household debt rapidly on the rise, more people will continue to play the games, so you can expect a new set of games for next year. So there will definitely be a season 2, and I am very much looking forward to seeing how this is going to pan out. If you want to see me do more Squid Game analysis as well as theory videos on Squid Game, let me know in the comments. Squid Game definitely reminded me of Hunger Games and like Battle Royale from the year 2000. Apparently this show reminds a lot of people of Alice in Borderland. I haven't seen that show yet, but I'm very interested in checking it out and seeing if I can talk about that show at a later date. So that's like a recommendation for anyone who's just like craving more of this like survival game-esque type of show. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next explained video.